Alright, well, I go after you. Your time after your left. And I go on
Alright. Shalom. We like first we like to give all praises to the house of Hashem, Yahushua. We like to give double honor to the sincere elders and to the brothers, to the Akim out here preaching the truth and sincerity around all four corners of the earth. We just want to start off by saying getting into the destruction, really. That's what we're looking for. Still on the black and getting and looking forward to the destruction. This place got to be destroyed before we can get our kingdom. First we're going to go into the chariots, then we're going to go into destruction scriptures. Then we got a couple topics after that. Isaiah chapter 66.
This Isaiah 66, verse 20. And they shall bring all your breath. This Isaiah 66, verse 16, 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
Okay, so I know all y'all saying Independence Day, like on Independence Day, when the chariots first appeared on the scene, before you could even see the chariots, you seen the clouds forming, and it was taking a weird formation. It was like lightning and fire coming out of the clouds somewhat, and then from behind the cloud, that's when you seen the chariot come. That's what that's describing.
And with
read that over one more time.
This verse 15, chapter 66, Isaiah. And for behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
So his rebuke with flames of fire is going to be.
Oh, I'm sorry. My father, I'm my friend. He's trying to be like that.
Yeah, so basically, on Independence Day, when you seen in the middle of the mothership or in the middle of the chariot, how the center part opened up, and then you seen that beam, that amber-colored beam. That's what it's describing right here. It's talking about the chariot itself coming from out the clouds, and then how he's going to render his fury with flames of fire. It's going to be when that beam, once the elect get beamed up, he's going to start using the chariots to destroy people.
For by fire and by sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
So by fire and by sword. Right. So he's using the chariots, and he's also going to use the elect to take out vengeance upon the wicked of the earth. 2/3 of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and also you heathens, you other nations outside the nation of Israel, 12 tribes. Ezekiel chapter 1.
This Ezekiel chapter 1. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself. And a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber.
So the same little scene is describing the same thing that you seen on Independence Day. How the same chariot came from out the clouds, and then you seen the fire unfolding itself. And then the amber coming from out the middle. This is talking about the beam. It's describing the same thing. And it's also describing the angels. Go ahead.
midst of fire. Shalom.
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah. Under the Most High.
We're under Great Millstone. We learned under GMS. Great Millstone.
Say that again. They talking about Abba not what's his name?
Abba
Ben, I mean, he dead though. The dude in Israel? Nah, we don't deal with that.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Blue. And we got the borders of blue.
Yeah.
We got the borders of blue.
This is what you're talking about right here, the quarter blue. Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
Shalom. You probably talk to him.
Okay, to get back where you was at, Slovakia. Give her the Great Millstone. Give her the Great Millstone website. This is, finish off where the brother was at. This is Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. So in the movies and shit where they try to tell you that the UFOs or the chariots, that it got little green creatures in it, like little ETs, that's false. The angels look like us. They're our color.
I got it.
They're our color. But it says, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. It's a burnt brass again. And you know brass is a derivative of brown, and burnished means to be burnt. So it's a dark brown, like the same complexion someone with how a shot would have. Some people say like the Wesley Snipes color, dark brown. And it says, they had the hands of a man under the wings of their 4 sides, and they had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward. Now, a good example for this would be like, I believe the movie was War of the Worlds or something like that. They showed the little chariots, how they moved, and how they went straight forward side, and how it was like rotation, how they just did a little turn or whatever, and they spent, and they went wherever the angels told them to go. It's the same thing. Right now I'm getting Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Now how every eye see the Most High, see Yahushua when he returns? They're going to see that chariot coming from out the clouds. That's why it says he cometh with clouds. Because you're going to see the descend from behind the clouds. So when you see it descend from behind the clouds, it says every eye shall see him. Meaning all the earth, they're going to see these big ass chariots, these motherships, and everybody going to stop what they're doing and be looking up. And like I said, another perfect example would be the movie Independence Day. The Lord is returning with chariots. And he knows what the chariots are, but he's not going to tell you that that's Israel's salvation. That's how you're going to be saved. Just like when the Most High delivered us out of Egypt, and he split the Red Sea, and he was showing his power. But now he's doubling the ante. And, he's making our salvation, our exodus, even more of a work of his power, showing even more his power when you see those chariots beaming up the elect. So he's making his name, glorifying his name even more. Lucky, I just need 1 minute.
Hey man, you know, I ain't finna deep. I ain't, you know, she came in the right spirit, you know. I ain't gonna, you know. Hey man, you know what, see man. Hey, so what you want?
Looking at the
Cherries.
Okay, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse 1. And it came to pass, after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved for the ways thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. The thousands of heaven is talking about the chariots that's going to come. You're going to see thousands of chariots coming. So it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Meaning everybody that's going to see all these chariots, they're going to be in great fear. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to be panicking. The man of the Lord going to know that's their salvation, but everybody else,
Well, yeah, because they in deep sleep.
everybody else is going to be running. They're going to be in deep fear because they're not knowing, they're not understanding the scriptures that those chariots are the salvation of Israel. And it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it seeth the fire. So when it's saying his voice, it's not talking about his actual voice. It's talking about when the center of those chariots open up, it's going to be like his mouth. But when he opened his mouth, it says that all those under him are going to be burnt. So it's talking about that the beam. When those chariots open, you see that beam. It made a representation of a mouth being open, of people being burnt when he opened his mouth. But it's really talking about the chariots. And it says, and after this, I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. It says, a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Where I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great hump and drew upon him. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the end was given. No, I'm reading out of the Apocrypha.
Oh, okay. It's a King James and it's a Apocrypha.
Yeah, this is a part of the original King James Version 611, King James Version Bible. So it's taken out.
This will edification statement.
If you have any questions, you can ask me.
It's for edification, wasn't it?
For people like.
Are you married?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Is your husband is he in the truth too as well?
Yes.
Okay. So it says.
What denomination are you doing?
Timothy 2:9.
Say that again,
You gotta go
young
to Timothy
You said what
2:9.
denomination are we? We're Hebrew Israelites. We're not under any denomination.
Okay.
Law, statutes, and commandments weren't given to any denomination or religion.
Exactly.
It was given to the bloodline.
Right.
We're not under any denomination.
And you're exactly right.
You just heard to listen. You just heard to listen.
Yeah, I was just listening, just
Okay.
asking questions, because you never know. We're all Christians. We just trying to find a way to where we need to be. Because we all going to one master.
No, that's all right.
It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So when Yahushua returns, all these other nations, they're going to be at war with each other, and when his return comes, when he comes with those chariots, they're going to stop fighting each other to start fighting the Most High and his angels. So that's what the scripture is going into, how even though they ain't even going to want to fight, how they going to be so scared they're not even going to want to fight against the Most High, but he's going to put that spirit on them and make them fight. This says, And after this beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, meaning they were scared, and yet durst fight. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. So it's talking about when that chariot, when it actually opens up the mouth part of it, that bottom part that you see the fire spewing out of when it beamed down on this place. That's what it's talking about. They're gonna be fighting against it. He's gonna be spitting that fire. He's gonna be spitting those beams out at their airplanes and their helicopters and different vehicles of war they have that they're gonna be trying to take the chariots out with. But it's not gonna be like on Independence Day where they just take them all out and where they just destroy the mothership. That's not gonna happen. It says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. And afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude. So he's calling the children of Israel. It says, and there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and the other some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I walked and said, Thou hast shown thy servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. So basically, those chariots, that's going to be your salvation. So when that day come, there should be no way in hell. The elect, they're going to be ready. They're going to be waiting for their salvation. And everybody else going to be bugged out because they're not going to know what's going on.
Right, battle going to be out there in the Middle East. It's right around the corner because a lot of people's getting, because now they're being lenient in the army now, because it usually be motherfuckers can't go to the army because they got heart problems or they did some type of drugs. Now Esau is letting anybody and everybody in the army now because he know it's that time for that war in the Middle East, the waters that surrounded the Euphrates, what they talk about in Revelations. And yeah, the devil's getting ready because all these nations is getting sick of America's shit, man. You know. So I got this in Revelation to go off what the brother was saying. This Revelation.
Yeah, one more. We was about to do that.
Because you know they have a short time.
Right, we can sponsor this. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, I'm going to start at verse 1. Then shall the righteous man steal in great boldness, and for the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. So when they see those chariots, they're going to be troubled with great fear. They're going to be troubled with great fear. It says, they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. So they not going. It says they're gonna be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Oh, that wisdom of Solomon.
Right. They're gonna be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation because whoever would have expected that the chariots, so-called UFOs, they trying to tell you what Esau trying to tell you. It's full of niggas. Yeah. And that's gonna be our way out of here. Yeah. That's gonna be our way out of America. Who would ever have expected that? It says so beyond all that they look for. It says, and they repented and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he, only he has sometimes been derised, a proverb of reproach. So they're not gonna understand when